That day, a man was walking through a quiet wooded area when he noticed a box lying on the ground. At first glance, it looked ordinary, something that someone had thrown away and forgotten. The cardboard was worn, the surface faded with time. It looked like it had been sitting there for a long time. There were no markings, no labels, no clues about who had left it there. Just a box resting silently in the middle of nowhere. But something felt wrong. He couldn't explain it. It wasn't curiosity. It was something deeper. A quiet, unsettling feeling that wouldn't let him walk away. He took a step closer, then another. His movement slowed. His breathing grew shallow. Standing in front of the box, he reached out his hand, then hesitated. Should he open it or leave it alone? For a moment, he considered walking away, but he didn't. He opened it, and in that instant, the air changed. Cold, still. A suffocating smell escaped from inside. He stepped back without thinking. His body reacted before his mind could. He stood there, unable to move, unable to process what he was seeing. His chest tightened. His fingers grew cold. Slowly, he looked inside again, and that's when he saw it. A child, inside the box, just a small body, motionless, silent. A child who could not have been more than 4 years old, too young to understand the world, too young to be there. And the most disturbing part was, no one was looking for him. No name, no records, no one who knew who he was. It was as if he had never existed at all. And even now, decades later, this case has never been fully solved. (1957), Pennsylvania, United States. A quiet, rural area far from the city, near a stretch of woods where few people passed. It was the kind of place where nothing unusual happened. Days passed quietly. People lived simple lives, nothing out of the ordinary. That day was no different. The man had no particular destination. He was simply walking until he saw it. A box on the side of the road, old, weathered, left behind long enough to be forgotten. Anyone else might have ignored it, and at first, so did he. He walked past it, but something lingered, a feeling he couldn't shake. After a few steps, he stopped, turned around, and walked back, slowly, carefully, as if he already knew something wasn't right. He reached out, lifted the lid, and froze. Inside was a boy. Small, lifeless, gone. He didn't speak. He couldn't. He simply stared. Because what he had just found was not just a box. It was the beginning of something far more disturbing. Police arrived quickly. The area was secured. The investigation began immediately, and very soon they discovered something that made the case even more disturbing. The box was not random. It had once been used to hold a baby crib, something purchased to welcome a new life, a place meant for comfort, for care, for beginnings. But instead, it became the place where that life ended, and the child's condition raised even more questions. His fingernails were neatly trimmed. Someone had been taking care of him, not long before his death, but his hair told a different story. It had been cut unevenly, rushed, messy, as if someone had tried to remove something or hide something. Care and concealment. Two completely different intentions found in the same child. Someone had cared for him, and someone had tried to erase him. Investigators quickly realized this was not a case they could treat as ordinary. They needed to know who the child was. His identity became the most important question. Photographs were taken. They were distributed across the country. Newspapers printed his face. Radio broadcasts repeated the story again and again. His image spread far beyond that small town. The hope was simple. Someone, somewhere, would recognize him. But no one did. Days passed, then weeks, and still no one came forward. No family, no relatives, no friends, no one who could say they had ever seen him before. There were no school records, no medical records, no missing person reports that matched him. It was as if he had never been registered in the world at all. And yet, he had clearly lived. He had spent time with someone. He had held someone's hand. He may have laughed. He may have spoken his name to someone who once knew it. He was real. He existed. But now, every trace of that existence was gone. Even the proof that he had ever lived was slipping away. As time passed, the case slowly faded from public attention, but not completely. Because then, someone came forward, a woman. She claimed she had seen the boy, not in the woods, not at the crime scene, but before, inside a house, hidden. She described a child who rarely went outside, a child who lived indoors, kept away from the world. She said he was always quiet, always watching, afraid. He barely spoke. And when he did, it was as if he was careful not to be heard. She said he seemed like a child who was trying not to exist. Then one day, he was gone. No explanation, no warning, just gone. And she never saw him again. Her voice trembled as she spoke. The memory was not easy to revisit. If her story was true, then this was not just a random tragedy. The boy had been hidden for a long time, kept out of sight. But despite her testimony, no physical evidence was ever found. The house she described no longer held any answers, no records, no trace, nothing that could prove he had ever been there. People began to see the case differently. This was not a simple crime. Someone had hidden this child for a long time. And then someone had tried to erase him completely. But no one could prove it. There were no answers, no solid evidence, only fragments of a story that refused to come together. As time passed, the case became more complicated, harder to understand, further out of reach. And yet, it never truly disappeared. Because cases without answers never really go away. Years turned into decades. The case remained unsolved, a mystery without a name. But time changed something else, technology, and eventually it brought one answer. In 2022, through advanced DNA analysis, the boy was finally identified. His name was Joseph Augustus Zarelli. He was not a nameless child. He was real. He had a name. He was only 4 years old. He had been someone's son, someone's child, someone who should have been protected. But even with his name, the most important question remained unanswered. Who did this? And why it happened? Those answers are still hidden in silence. The boy now has a name, but his story is still unfinished. We know who he was, but we still do not know what happened to him. He existed, but that existence was erased, and we learned the truth too late. What's even more unsettling is that this case may not truly be over. What we saw may only be a small part of the truth. The rest may still be hidden somewhere, and someone may still be keeping that truth from being known. Perhaps, until the very end, he was waiting for someone to find him. But no one did. He disappeared from the world, and only that fact remains. Even now, his story is not over. If this story left you wondering, the next one is waiting for you. Subscribe, and stay with us.